Well, I'm not gonna drag too much on it because I'm already convinced of what I was seeing when I saw the eruption detonation at Tonga. Terry W. is saying that Henning Kenner, yours was the first video I looked at, immediately knew exactly that you were correct. I do know a little about nuclear explosion, a bit more about volcanoes since I watched Alaska's activities last couple of years. Also to the scientists that there were puzzling patterns they have never seen before, which is concentric circles or patterns. There are many things that they have said that are never seen before, even using all the data they are completely puzzled by how it went. It created its own weather pattern. Let me interject there. That is very, very usual when we are dealing with a nuclear explosion. In a local area, we will have its own weather pattern going on, because everything is blown out of the way by the pressure wave, and it's alone, and it's leading to black rain, funny enough. So, further, the debris, when they said 100,000 feet, but it's really 179,520 feet, at least 5 times higher than jet cruisers are at. No debris should be that high. And where do we hear this before? Well, we hear that when it comes to nuclear detonations. Go look it up yourself if you don't believe me. So, how about the man-made tornado that hit Kentucky in December, like last year? I remember those words, and there was incredible, strange things about that took me right off, because I studied the weather since I was a kid with my dad. Me too has been studying the weather, and I know a bit about the weather. And let's just agree that weather today is not natural. It's manufactured weather. Oh, long pause. Yeah, because I want you to think for yourself. We have HARP, we have NextRad, we have chemtrails. We also have the Gulf Loop current, or the Gulf Stream as it's called, annihilated in the year 2010, which I reported upon. And there's a lot of idiots out there that says, and unfortunately I won't call John Moore an idiot. He's a very smart person. You don't become a homicide detective if you're stupid. But he's not right in what he's saying, that Planet X is the reason for why the loop current ceased on June 12, 2010. It happened because they blew up the bloody seafloor in the Gulf of Mexico. They blew it up. Yes, they did. I have a video on my channel called Gulf Oil Spill Revisited 2010-2013. And there's the evidence for you right there. And all these devices they had on the seafloor had nothing to do with pneumatics, meaning air pressure. No, these were electrical wires going deep into the ground to set off and disrupt the loop current. Why? Because the loop current was what you would call the steering mechanism for the jet stream, the northern hemisphere. And they needed to take control over that. Why? Well, they need to take control over the weather as much as they possibly can because of the incoming Planet X system, so they can maintain status quo. So they can manipulate and interject particulates from chemtrails and frequencies in order to disrupt what the Planet X system would actually do to our planet. They need to maintain status quo as long as it is possible. Because if weather goes completely haywire, it is already haywire, in a way. But we haven't seen anything yet regarding that. But if they hadn't done what they did in 2010, I would most likely not be speaking to you right now. I would, with a good probability, be dead. Yes. And then Cherry says, I remember those words, and there were incredible strange things about it. Took me right away, because I've studied weather since I was a kid with my dad. Anyways, no matter what you put in, it's always excellent, and I enjoy listening to your narratives. Again, I just want to thank you for all the work you put out on your channel and your videos. And I do visit other channels, which I'm not saying where. I wouldn't be surprised if it was US, to be honest. I still have this weird creeping feeling that they are trying to set off the Cascadia, because it should had gone off by now. And the scientist says, I've been researching the Cascadia for years, and I've come across something that is going to put a video up for my first time. Woohoo, Jerry says. USGS is definitely hiding stuff. Oh yeah, of course they are. They're always downplaying the earthquakes. We know that. And according to John Moore that I was explaining about earlier, he said that back in the 80s, they downplayed our Richter scale by one numeric value, because all the earthquakes today would be in red, not black, but in red. Danger, danger, danger. And that will make people fear. And they don't want us to fear in that manner. They want us to fear them and what they can do against us. That's the fear they want. Regarding pandemic, regarding false flag attacks, and whatever else they can manufacture themselves. That's just how they work. So, USGS is definitely hiding something, and I went on a hunch, and I was right. So I'm thinking, what if they were to set off the actual seamount, which scientists say cannot no way be a Tonga eruption? Just saying, it might not have been China or Russia. And like you said, Russia will protect their people. Anyways, thank you, and God bless you and your family. Yeah. You definitely got that one right, Terry, regarding Russia. Putin cares about his country. The people in this country that runs this country into the ground do not give a shit about you. Excuse my language, but that's the truth. They don't care. They want you dead. And they want China to come in and take everything over. And these traitors of this nation think that China is going to trust a thief. Does a thief trust a thief? No. So, as soon as China let's say that's hypothetically, is taking over United States of America and all its assets, you know who they're gonna kill first? They're gonna kill AOC, they're gonna kill Pelosi, they're gonna kill Adam Schiff, they're gonna kill Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Cuomo, Feinstein, Soros, Bill Gates. They're gonna kill all of them. Every single one of them, even Fauci, is going to go bye-bye. Because a thief don't trust another thief, right? And if you are willing to betray your own country, you might just be able or willing to betray those that you were working together with. Therefore, they are going to take out any competition that might occur in the future. Therefore, everything in Washington is going to be wiped off the map. All of you evil politicians are all going to be killed by the Chinese. And to be honest, I don't care. And I wouldn't put past them at all. Who are you in Washington who works for us? We don't work for you. Who are you to determine the future of this country? When it's the people, we the people, who are the ones who determines the future and the decisions of this country. Washington don't. But you people out there, you believe that Washington got all the power. They don't. We are the 99%. They only won. We have the upper hand. And if we do this correctly, we can turn this ship around. But not without God and Jesus Christ. Sorry to say that. Sorry I have to Bible thump again, but you can't. Period. If America don't turn away from its wicked ways and its wokeism and all this transgenderism and whatever crap that is coming out, if you don't turn away from that, you doom yourself. God will take off his protective hand of this nation and he will let it burn to the ground because you want it so bad. So he's going to judge you for that. He's going to take you down. And there will be very few survivors. Just how it is. God has always used the elements to teach unbelievers a lesson. And he's doing it again. He's allowing these evil doers to control and manipulate our weather, to control and manipulate the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and what to put in our bodies, such as mandatory vaccines. He's allowing all this crap. Why? Because you have forsaken God Almighty. You say you don't need him when you do. And he's just gonna say, okay, you want this so bad. You want to be these little disobedient children. You want to be these woke idiots. Go ahead. I'm not gonna keep my protective hand over you. Only those who follow me, those I am going to protect. The rest of you, you're on your own. Because you made the decision you don't need me. So, do whatever you want to. You want to come back? You're welcome. But those who don't, well, you're on your own. That's just how it is. It's how it's been since the beginning of time. You make the decision yourself. And decisions you make are final. Gotta understand that. Final. We are now at a time in this world where all the prophecies are coming together. And you still raise your fist against our Lord. He is going to just say, okay, this is what you want. Here you go. Here you have it. Have it your way. And I can't blame him for that. Now I looked this one up here today, right now. Volcano hit Tonga suffers first COVID outbreak after receiving foreign aid. This little nation, Tonga, have had no COVID. None. They want to break away from the US dollar and go to Bitcoin. And here we got this one. The nuclear detonation. And as Terry W. says, that he wouldn't put it past them that USA did this. And to be honest, I think they did. I honestly think United States of America bombed Tonga on two levels. To teach them a lesson, but also to show Russia their might and their strength. But I can assure you, America, if US and NATO decides to go on an offensive against Russia regarding Ukraine, NATO and US will lose that battle. We're going to be annihilated on the battlefield because Putin cares about his country and his national security. United States and NATO don't give a shit about Russian national security. All they care about is their own power and lust for power. Russia is different. They've been through a lot of stuff in all its time they've been there. But one thing they have managed to do on the broader picture, that is to keep their ranks and keep the nation Russia alive. There's a few breakaways, Crimea and Ukraine, Lithuania and Estonia and Estonia. Those have broken free, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, I think they're going to choose Russia over NATO and US because they are their kinsmen. They are the same blood. And they all share the same history. And that, I think, will prove that what United States and NATO is trying to do is literally provoking and poking the bear. And you think maybe that Russia is some kind of close to a third world country or something like that. You're greatly mistaken on that one. If you think that. If any leader in this Western world think that Russia is some kind of non-issue, well, a good lesson will be, don't ever underestimate your enemy. Putin is going to act on this threat. And I have been talking to a YouTuber, my long-time subscribers, and he's very concerned regarding the Super Bowl tomorrow. I just finished watching the movie called The Sum of All Fears, where a nuclear detonation takes place in Baltimore, Maryland. On a football stadium at a Super Bowl. Today's date, give the number 3 in numerology. If you go to 3 minutes 16 seconds at the iPad Goat video, you see a mushroom cloud and you see death. I'm not saying anything is going to happen at the Super Bowl tomorrow, but if anything happens, you can count on that the United States of America did that to their own people. Russia did not do that. At this moment in time, Russia has no reason to go on the offensive and attack. They are going to go on the offensive. NATO and United States of America is not retracting their stupid idea of assimilating Ukraine into NATO, then they will strike at the battleground, not US. That will come later if needed. But first of all, he is going to annihilate NATO troops and United States troops. And why is it that the White House is issuing the directive that all Americans should leave Ukraine within the next 24 to 48 hours? Why are they doing that? It's pretty unusual. If there's nothing going on, nothing is going to happen, don't you think? But if anything happens at the Super Bowl today, they did it. Russia didn't, but they did it. And then it's time for you, America, to stand together from whatever comes against you. Stand together. This is not about racism. This is not about wokeism and transgenderism and what the hell you else flopping around in your own stupid mind about. This is here where we freaking need to come together and hold the fort. Because we are going to see here in America, if that happens, asymmetric warfare carried out against us to keep division alive. And the most divisive president we have ever had is Joe Biden, crackpipe daddy. Talk about a traitor to this nation. There you have it. He's worse than Obama, but on the other hand, Obama is president. For why is he in the White House every day talking to Psaki, the redhead, screwed up communist itch? Why is he there every day? Because he's a communist. And he wants this country to turn communistic. This is why we need to hold together. Communism has never ever brought anything good with it. Look at China. Is communism good? And if nothing happens today regarding the Super Bowl, every time you go to the store, you lift up an item you want to purchase. Look where it's made. If it says made in China or made in PRC, put it back on the shelf, don't buy it. Boycott China entirely. Everything made in China, don't buy it. And there's a product on the vitamin section called Nature Valley. That's made in China. And it's not the real deal. It's chemical magnesium, chemical vitamin C. It's not natural. There's another product called Nature Valley. That's the real deal. But no, Spring Valley. That's the real deal. Nature Valley is Chinese synthetic products. And it's going to harm you. It's not going to benefit you because it's chemical. It's not real. Stay away from it. Anything made in China. Anything. Don't buy it. Boycott them permanently. And that means you will have to say goodbye to your new iPhone. Get a Samsung instead. And there's another phone called, what is it called? Huawei or something like that. That's China. Don't buy it. And there's Elon Musk's new phone he's coming out with. Don't buy it. Google have a phone called Google Pixel, I think it is. Don't buy it. Stay away from all that crap. All it is a 100% spy device. Oh, what happened there? I didn't do that. Interesting. It decided to refresh. So, let's not drag this out because I can keep on for hours. There's so much stuff that I know about. And there's so much stuff that I got questions about. And there's so much stuff that I'm just bloody tired of. So let me end the video by saying, return to your Father, your Creator. Do it now. Right this moment. Get on your knees and admit you are a sinner. Believe Christ is the Lord. And call upon Him. For then you shall be saved. That's all I have to say now. That's where we are. We are at the threshold of an all-destructive war. The war will come. That's just what it is. It might not be tomorrow that America is going to point their fingers against Russia because a nuclear bomb went off in California at the Super Bowl. So they can get everybody of you to go and rise up and be against Russia. They did not do it. Washington did it to you. It's time to repent. It's time to be saved. Because you only die once. If you die the second time, you're going to hell. So what is your choice? Make the wise choice. Choose your Father in heaven, who created you, who loved you, who sent His only begotten Son, and whoever shall believe in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. God bless you.